NLWN-TV now brings you the In the Dugout show. A look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, join us in the dugout.
Hello and welcome to the Wisconsin Baseball Association State Tournament edition of In the Dugout. Rick Olson here in the NLWN-TV studios, and we're getting ready to bring you state tournament action as the Eau Claire Cavaliers face the defending state champion River Falls Fighting Fish at Carson Park in Eau Claire in their first matchup in the Wisconsin Baseball Association State Tournament pool play. Now, coming up in this edition of In the Dugout, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Cavs and the Fish. Then we'll get Cavalier manager Ryan Bemister's perspective on today's game in the Ryan Bemister Show. Following that, we'll examine the makeup of the WBA State Tournament. Also, we'll take a moment to get to know one of this season's Cavalier players in Cavalier Profile. Finally, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of today's game from Carson Park in Eau Claire. So it's time to get ready for some playoff baseball action, and we'll do just that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to WBA State Pool Play edition of In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time shero to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our shero, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to the WBA State Tournament Pool Play edition of In the Dugout. Very shortly, the Eau Claire Cavaliers will open up the WBA State Tournament at the Eau Claire site as they take on the defending state champion, River Falls Fighting Fish. Now, the Cavaliers are coming off a thrilling walk-off victory on Sunday over the Whittlesea Reds, while the Fighting Fish advanced with a 16-0 trouncing over the Glidden Orioles. Now, in the win over Whittlesea, the Cavaliers were trailing 3-0 after 6 innings when the rains came, forcing a rain delay. Those rains also drowned our equipment and prevented us from broadcasting the rest of the game. And boy, are we sorry, because it was a thrilling finish in the regional tournament. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Caden Erickson for the Cavaliers belted a 2-run home run, scoring Ben Boda ahead of him and making the score Whittlesea 3, Cavaliers 2. Then in the 9th inning, the Cavaliers loaded the bases with no outs following singles by Kapanke and Luke Erickson and Gio Basile. Now, Kapanke was forced out at the plate on a fielder's choice by Ben Boda. Caden Erickson then hit a bouncer back to the pitcher, who forced Luke Erickson out at the plate, at which point the Whittlesea catcher tried to get Caden Erickson at first for a game-ending double play, but instead he airmailed the ball into right field, scoring Basile with the tying run and Ben Boda with the winning run, making the final score Cavaliers 4 and Whittlesea 3. And the Cavaliers advanced to the state tournament. Now, the River Falls Fighting Fish are the defending WBA state champions. They came out of pool number 1 in the River Falls Regional, where they defeated the Cadott Red Sox 9-2 and then defeated the Glidden Orioles 16-0 in their second game to advance to the state tournament. Now, coming into this weekend, leading the way for the Cavaliers at the plate is Xavier Bemister, who's hitting at a .337 pace and has driven in 13 RBI on 28 hits, including 5 doubles. Right behind Bemister with a .313 batting average is Caden Erickson, who leads the Cavaliers with 41 hits, including 9 doubles and a home run. Campbell Kapanke is hitting just under 300 at 295 with 33 hits, including 6 doubles and 2 home runs. Jack Redwine leads the Cavaliers in home runs with 3, while Gabe O'Brien and Cole Timon have each contributed 2 round trippers. On the mound, the Cavaliers are being led by Lucas Costley. He's posted an 8-1 record with a 2.77 ERA and has struck out 62 in his 68 1/3 innings pitched. Andrew Milner has a 3.15 ERA with a 5-2 record and leads the team in strikeouts with 98 in 65 2/3 innings pitched, which is nearly 1.5 strikeouts per inning. Now, as a staff, the Cavaliers have a combined ERA of 4.47 with a WHIP of 1.65. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get manager Ryan Bemister's perspective as we chat with him on The Ryan Bemister Show. You're tuned to the WBA State Pool Play edition of In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
The Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire presents The Ryan Bemister Show, where Cavalier manager Ryan Bemister gives us his perspective on today's game. And now, The Ryan Bemister Show.
Once again, we're at the Goat Coffee House talking with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemister. Ryan, today the Cavaliers will open up WBA State Tournament play when they take on the River Falls Fighting Fish. But first, we need to talk about how the Cavaliers qualified for the state tournament. So let's set the Wayback Machine for last Sunday. And the Cavaliers were taking on the Whittlesea Reds, who were leading 3-0 after 6 innings. Then the rains came, knocked our broadcast off the air. So could you fill the folks in on how that game ended?
Pretty fun and ugly. Yeah, we battled in that game the whole time. Milner threw a great first 6 innings or whatever it was that he threw there, and Fish finished it out for us. He threw 2 scoreless, something like that. Mm-hmm. But we finally got to that Whittlesea pitcher. They brought him back out after the rain delay, which is kind of silly, I thought. Sitting the guy down for about 45 minutes and then bringing him back on that kind of thing. It's something I wouldn't do, but they did, and thank God they did, because we got to him in the 8th. With I think Ben Boda walked, and then Caden hit that big home run, made it 3-2, and then Xavier chased him out of the inning by hitting a shot to the gap. So I think they saw it. We were hitting him hard, and unfortunately we couldn't bring him around in that inning. They shut us down there, but we loaded the bases in the 9th. And
You've seen this movie before, though.
Yes, I have. Osseo was flashing in my eyes all over again. Yeah, we loaded the bases up, and unfortunately, play-by-play would be we had a ground out to short that threw out a guy at home, and we had a ground out to the pitcher that threw a guy out at home, and thank God the catcher airmailed the double play ball to first over the first baseman's head, and we were able to plate 2 runs because they were out of position. So that's how we walked them off.
And you got to give some of the credit on that to Caden Erickson. Yes, he hit it right back to the pitcher for the play at the plate. But he hustled down that first baseline, forcing the catcher to hurry his throw, and the adrenaline got to him, and it orbited the moon once before it landed on the ground.
Yeah. And I think the catcher, he thought he was going to have all the time in the world to throw it, because you saw him kind of step in, and then when he realized Caden hustling down the line, he really rushed his throw. Like, you could see the quickness of it. And he was so distraught after that throw that he never went back to cover home plate.
Okay.
So that was when we sent Gio in to score the tying run, and when Ben was coming around third, as he got to third, I noticed the right fielder got the ball. I was going to hold him up, but I looked over. There's nobody at home. It was all wide open.
Win the game.
I'm like, go. So Ben never slowed down once, and he got about 15, 20 feet away from home plate, and he just kind of strolled in because nobody there.
Sure. And you got to give some credit to these guys, though. It's got to be a blessing for you to have some serious speed on your team.
Yeah, and that's something that we're built around. We've got probably 5 or 6 guys in the lineup every day that I don't have a problem sending, a steal or sending them on an extra base to score or thing like that, because we're built for speed. We put the ball in play pretty good. We don't hit a lot of home runs. Recently we have, but we're not a power team, but we're a team that really knocks the ball around and can take an extra base with the speed that we have and the aggressiveness of the boys.
So it was an exciting finish to the game against Whittlesey over in Ellsworth. It means you're in the state tournament. And can you explain, this is kind of an interesting construction of this tournament. Explain to the fans how this is all put together.
There's 2 sites. One's in Osseo, one's at the Carson Park. There will be 4 pools overall, 12 teams total, 3 teams in each pool. 2 of the pools will be out in Osseo, 2 of the pools will be in Eau Claire here at Carson. It's basically a round robin in your pool. The best team out of each pool then advances to Sunday, which would be the top 4 teams, and then they would play their semifinal match,
yeah,
and then the championship game. So it's kind of set up that way, and it's you win your first game, you get a little bit more of a break. You lose your first game, you play right away in the morning the next day, kind of thing.
Okay, now the Cavs, they've got their work cut out for them right off the bat. Of course, every team pretty much does, because these are the 12 best teams in the state right now.
Yeah, there was only two of the top 12 that were already seeded. Were only 2 that didn't make it. There's
Okay.
2 outside of that top 12, I believe, that knocked somebody out. We only moved up 1 seed. We were 9 overall, and when they reseeded, we were an 8.
Okay, well, and now you're facing the River Falls Fighting Fish. They are the defending WBA State champions. Mm-hmm. What can you tell us about the Fish?
They knocked us out last year, pretty handily, actually. It was kind of an ugly game for us, but they're good. I know that they have 6-7 guys that are batting over 300, a couple guys over 400. I know they got at least 6 pitchers that are probably sitting with the ERAs under 3 or around 3. 2 or 3 guys that are just big guns. So we know we got our work cut out first, but we've had our work cut out for us against the Osceos and the Tildens and the Bears and stuff like that. They're really good teams in our league. We just got to do our job. I mean, it's one of these things, and it's a mindset our team has had all year long. We had our banquet on Monday night, and I used Luke Erickson as an example, because people were talking about, oh geez, you're probably gonna have to face River Falls, or you probably have to do this, and he basically said, I don't care who we play, we can beat anybody. So, and that's kind of how our team is always thought of. So I guess bring on River Falls, River Falls, and we'll see what we can do. But they're a really good team, up and down. They're not the number 1 team in the state for no reason.
So with some players starting to head back to college, are there any lineup adjustments that you're expecting to have to make?
A lot. Unfortunately, a lot. We've got a couple of guys that did already head back to college. And on to new careers, and it being the end of summer too, those guys that aren't heading back to college, there's a few guys that have family needs that they're going to be missing this weekend too. So we're going to have an interesting lineup for tonight's game, to say the least. But I'm not worried about it. I think we're going to be fine, and we'll make it work.
So who's getting the call to the mound?
Well, I think I'm going with Milner as a shock to most people. Cosley faced these guys last year.
And they roughed him up.
They did, and Cosley's a different pitcher than he was last year to this year, for sure. But I think throwing a lefty at these guys, and kind of a game plan, I'm sure River Falls won't watch this anyways. We're probably going to throw Milner, and we're probably going to throw him for about 2 or 3. And then we're going straight to Cosley.
Okay, so you're going to throw them both.
I'm going to try to figure something out here. Yeah, it's a mindset I've always had coaching for the last 15, 16 years. And in big games like this, the big games that I've always coached in, we don't play tomorrow if we don't win today. And we'll figure it out. We've always figured it out, and that's always the way I've been doing things. So I guess we're just going to try to win tonight, get to 1-0 in that pool play, and then we're sitting pretty good going against Everest tomorrow.
And you still have Jackson Vance in the wings as a potential starter, and a handful of relievers that can make your pitching staff pretty interesting and pretty formidable.
Yeah, we'll have to depend on the handful part of that pitching staff. because Jackson will be one of the kids that are missing.
Okay. Well, darn.
But that's okay. That's it. I talked to him yesterday. I feel bad for him, and he feels bad. But there's nothing we can do with when family stuff comes calling. And I told him I understand completely, and he's going to be missed. But we'll figure it out. Being down a pitcher at the last 4 games of the year can be tough, but we've had games where we started call-up guys, and
yeah, this is true.
9 guys. We're fine. We'll figure it out. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine, and I keep telling everybody we're going to be fine. And if I keep saying it, I guess we'll be fine. And your drafted player, Gio Basile, is also a pitcher, so he's available. And yeah, that's the nice thing with those extra call-ups. Strategies points to you either pick up a pitcher or a catcher, need position type thing. And luckily we got a guy that's not only just a pitcher, but he's a middle infielder too, and one of the guys that put down one of the bunts for us to help us win that game on Sunday.
And some good speed.
Yeah, very good speed with him. And smart ball player.
Well, Ryan, good luck on today's game. Hopefully the Cavaliers can put together a couple of wins and find themselves in action on Sunday.
That's what we're hoping for.
You've been tuned to the Ryan Bemister Show, presented by the Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire, with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemister's outlook on today's game. Stay tuned. More of In the Dugout is coming right up.
My character Shazam knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime.
Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Welcome back to the WBA State Tournament edition of In the Dugout, as we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's game between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the River Falls Fighting Fish. Both of these teams are hoping to advance to the Final Four of the WBA State Tournament on Sunday. Now let's take a look at how the WBA State Tournament is organized. The WBA ranked the top 36 teams in the association and seeded them into 12 pools for regional play last weekend. The winner of each of those 12 pools have been reseeded into 4 state tournament pools, 2 of which will play at Carson Park in Eau Claire, and 2 will play at John Soini Field in Osseo. Now, coming out of the Augusta Regional, in Pool A are the Osseo Merchants. In Pool B are the Tilden Tigers. From Ellsworth Regional, in Pool A, we find the Holman Features by virtue of a tiebreaker, and in Pool B, we see the Cavaliers. In the Hayward Regional, Pool A, the winner is the Hayward Hawks, and in Pool B has the Spooner Cardinals. Out of the River Falls Regional, we find the River Falls Fighting Fish winning Pool A, and the Hudson River Rats capturing Pool B. At the Wisconsin Rapids Regional Site number 1, in Pool A, it's the Rapids Redhawks, and in Pool B, it's the Brill Millers. Out of Wisconsin Rapids Regional Site 2, in Pool A, it's the Everest Merchants advancing, while in Pool B, we find the Viroqua Sox qualifying for state. Those 12 teams were then reseeded and placed into 4 pools, with the winner of each pool advancing to the Final Four on Sunday. Now, following the reseeding, the state tournament pool play is as follows. In Osseo, we have pools 3 and 4, and in Pool 3, we find the Osseo Merchants, the Holman Features, and the Brill Millers. In Pool 4, it's the Viroqua Sox, the Wisconsin Rapids Redhawks, and the Hayward Hawks. In the Eau Claire Pool 1 consists of the River Falls Fighting Fish, the Eau Claire Cavaliers, and the Everest Merchants, while in Pool 2 it's the Tilden Tigers, the Spooner Cardinals, and the Hudson River Rats. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Eau Claire Cavalier players on Cavalier Profile. You're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game?
Tickets are inexpensive. There's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Time now to get to know a Cavalier player on Cavalier Profile. We'll get to know a little better who plays on this year's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball team. And now, Cavalier Profile.
Today on Cavalier Profile, we're talking with Xavier Bemister. And Xavier, tell us a little bit about where you grew up, different kinds of baseball you played, and so on.
Well, I grew up here in Eau Claire, played with the National Little League and then Babe Ruth, and then I'm playing college at Hamlin University.
And how did your season go at Hamlin this year?
Not quite the way we hoped, but it was all right.
Got to take the hill a few times?
Yep.
Okay. So when you're not playing baseball, what are some other things that interest you, keep you occupied?
Golfing. A lot of golfing in the summertime.
A lot of golfing. A lot of chasing the little white ball around and getting frustrated. Yeah, I understand that one. All right, I got a couple rapid fire questions for you.
All right.
Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cookies.
Which kind?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter cookies. Okay. How about burgers, brats, or hot dogs?
Brats.
What do you want on that brat? Ketchup and mustard. Ketchup and mustard. Yep. No kraut or anything like that? No, just ketchup and mustard. All right. Favorite major league team?
Brewers.
Okay. Is there, sticking with the state teams, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Even though you go to school over in Minnesota,
yeah.
Right? Yep. Sometimes that gets a little tough. All right. Is there a favorite major league player at any time period at all that inspired you or influenced the way that you play your game?
Ichiro, I would say. I watched a lot of Ichiro as a kid. It's kind of just shaped the way I play outfield kind of after him. And,
he played with a lot of hustle, doesn't he? Yeah. Now, if you had a superpower, what do you think that might be?
I want it to be super speed, probably.
Super speed?
Super speed, yeah.
All right, now, if you have that superpower of super speed, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with that. What do you think that might be?
I mean, I don't know. There already is a superhero with super speed. Flash.
Right.
So I'd have to come up with something around that.
Flash Jr. or something.
Yeah, Flash Jr. Bobby Flash.
We're talking with Xavier Bemister on Cavalier Profile. How about a shout out to the family and the fans who are watching you play?
Yeah, shout out to my grandparents and my parents, obviously. They come to every game. Obviously, my dad's...
Your dad's going to be there, that's for sure.
Yep. But no, my grandparents, both sets have supported me throughout all of my baseball career, and I know they'll be there watching games this summer, too.
Now, when people come to Cavalier games, remind us of what number you're going to be wearing and what position do you play?
I'll be wearing number 4. I play center field and pitcher, outfield and pitcher.
Okay, we want to thank Xavier Bemister for joining us today on Cavalier Profile. Coming up, more of the In the Dugout show.
This has been Cavalier Profile, where we get to know a little better who plays on the Cavalier baseball team. Stay tuned, more In the Dugout coming right up.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Welcome back to the WBA State Tournament Pool Play edition of In the Dugout. Today, the Cavaliers attempt to take the next step in attempting to secure a state title when they take on the defending state champion, River Falls Fighting Fish. Now, last season, the Fighting Fish and the Cavaliers met in state pool play in Viroqua when the Fish ended the Cavaliers' season 10-0, which propelled the Fish to a state title. The Cavaliers would like nothing better than to return that favor this year. Now that all means you're about to see some exciting Cavalier playoff baseball, and we'll have it for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now in just a moment, I'll be joining the rest of our broadcast crew at Carson Park in Eau Claire as we bring you all the action of today's WBA State Pool Play game between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the River Falls Fighting Fish. Following that, we'll bring you all the games of the Wisconsin Baseball Association Pool Play from Eau Claire on your home for WBA baseball action right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a presentation of NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Eau Claire Cavalier baseball is on the air. The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly brings you today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Join us as we follow the Cavs while they battle their way through the Chippewa River Baseball League.
Fly ball into left field. Could it be? Could it be? Way back. Toss the fence and it's out of here. It's a 3-run home run and the Cavaliers take the lead.
And now, out to the ballpark for coverage of today's game.
And good afternoon and welcome to Carson Park. Rick Olson here along with Ann Monroe on the computer. Ben Ryder is on the camera. Ben, I almost called you Ben Boda because we were just talking about him. and we have the WBA State Tournament as we're getting things started with the Eau Claire Cavaliers taking on the defending state champion River Falls Fighting Fish. This is part of the pool play portion of state tournament, and we have 2 pools here in Eau Claire and 2 pools down in Osseo, and the winners of those 4 pools will be meeting on Sunday down in Osseo for the Final 4 elimination tournament. Starting lineups for today's game for the visiting Eau Claire Cavaliers. Leading off playing shortstop is Caden Erickson. Batting second is our Geno's player of the game, Xavier Bemister. He's playing third base. At center field is Gabe O'Brien. Batting fourth and playing right field is Jack Redwine. Batting fifth behind the plate is Cole Timon. Batting sixth out in left field is Campbell Kapanke. Batting seventh at first base, Tyson Woodcock. Batting eighth at second base, Josh Garcia. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, Connor O'Reilly. For the River Falls Fighting Fish, who are the home team for this game, second baseman, Brian Jabel. Batting second, the shortstop, Trey Larson. Batting third, the center fielder, Spencer Diedrich. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Lucas Lutke. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Ty Denzer. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Reagan Pino. Batting seventh, the pitcher, Kyle Fritz. Batting eighth, The first baseman, Trevor Gutting, batting ninth. The catcher is Eli Baker, and playing out in left field is Jackson Larson. He's being designated hit for by Lucas Ludke. So, on the mound for the Cavaliers tonight is Andrew Milner. Comes into the game with a 5-2 record, a 3.15 earned run average. He has 98 strikeouts in 65 2/3 innings pitched. On the mound for the River Falls Fighting Fish is Kyle Fritz. He has an 8-1-1 record, 8 wins, 1 loss, 1 save, a 2.17 earned run average, and a 1.00 whip. So the Cavalier bats are going to have to be ready today, or this could be a really long game. The guys dressed in blue tonight. Behind the plate, Billy McKnight. Out at third base, Jamison Schmidt. And on first base is Dick Smith. For the WBA State Tournament, they do go with a 3-man crew. And now we'll send it out to Jenna Seiberling to sing our national anthem.
On the bases, Mr. Richard Smith and Mr. Paul. And Mr. Jamison Schmidt. And behind home plate, Sir William McKnight. Now, would you please rise if you're able? Remove your hats and honor America for the singing of our national anthem by Miss Jenna Seiberling.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets already clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Jenna Seiberling with the national anthem tonight. From Carson Park, WBA State Tournament action. It's kind of what we've been hoping to get to all season long, and here we are.
Robinson to throw out the first pitch of the 2023 Finals Tournament.
And we do have a first pitch thrower outer.
2020 graduate of Eau Claire High School and is an aviation machinist petty officer stationed at Naval Air Station, Whidbey Island, Washington. He returned home yesterday on leave when he was a stepbrother of Eau Claire Cavaliers center fielder Gabe O'Brien. Cameron, let it fly.
And that first pitch was in the right area to be called a strike. And now with the first pitch thrown out, we'll be ready to get this game started. And throwing out that first pitch today was Petty Officer Cameron Robertson from the United States Navy. And we'd like to thank him for his service. Veterans, don't forget that during the regular season, you can stop by Carson Park and show your veterans identification and get a lifetime pass to all home Cavalier games during the regular season. Leading off for the Cavaliers to get the state tournament underway, shortstop Caden Erickson. Erickson comes into the game with a .313 batting average and was incredibly instrumental in getting the Cavaliers to this spot over in Ellsworth last weekend. Here's the first pitch, and it's high for a ball. Erickson belted a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning, and then got on an error. Well, high pop foul out of play. Counts even at 1-1. He actually grounded into a fielder's choice, but when the catcher tried to double him off at first, he threw it out into right field. 2 runs came in to score, and the Cavs came away winners. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, it's to Caden Erickson. Ground ball over to third, picked up by Pino, throw across to first, and it's in time for the out. 1 down, that's gonna bring up Xavier Bemister, and Xavier Bemister is our Geno's player of the game. So go out to Geno's tomorrow and mention Xavier's name. Get yourself a free soft drink, and if Xavier scores in this game, you'll get a free appetizer for your table. Xavier batting .337. High hopper over to third. Pino throws over to first, and they got him. That's going to bring up Gabe O'Brien. O'Brien batting .283. Taking a look at the Fighting Fish defensively at third base is Pino. Larson's at short. Jabel is at second, Gutting at first, Baker behind the plate. Here's the first pitch to O'Brien, and it missed outside for a ball. The outfield is Jackson Larson, Dietrich, and Denzer going from left to right. There's a pitch that's a called strike at the letters. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down. We're in the top of the first inning. And the pitch. That's high for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. From Kyle Fritz on the mound. He winds and delivers. That was low for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Bottom fell out of that pitch. He shakes off a sign. The wind and the 3-1 pitch. Fly ball out into right field, back deep, and making the catch is Ty Denzer. He had to go a distance to get it, but he got there. And the Cavaliers go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We've played a half inning, and it's the Cavaliers nothing, and the Fighting Fish coming to bat on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I love the pizza we get when we go to Gino's Pizza.
That's because Gino's has been voted best pizza in the Chippewa Valley 5 years in a row.
I think it's because Gino's uses the freshest ingredients, premium quality meats, cheeses, savory spices, and zesty toppings, and all served with attention to detail.
Now you're making me hungry. Let's head to Gino's Pizza.
Scott and the rest of the folks at Gino's Pizza would like to invite you to come out and try the area's best pizza. Call about Monday through Wednesday dine-in specials at 715-835-2000. That's Gino's Pizza at 5110 Fairview Drive, Eau Claire, right next to Chaos Water Park.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How was it? Is it good?
Back here at Carson Park, heading into the bottom of the first inning. No score. Andrew Milner on the mound for the Cavs. 5-2 record, 3.15 earned run average. He's been the strikeout expert for the Cavaliers today, or this year, with 98 strikeouts. Cavaliers defensively. Behind the plate is Cole Timon. Over at third is Xavier Bemister. Caden Erickson at second, or at shortstop. He's usually at second. He's at shortstop today. Josh Garcia is over at second base. Tyson Woodcock at first. Out in the outfield, Campbell Kapeki, Gabe O'Brien, and Jack Redwine going from left to right. So leading off for the River Falls Fighting Fish, Brian Gabel. Second baseman. Milner winds, and his first pitch just missed outside, ball one. Milner winds, and he delivers. That one caught the corner. Counts even at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's high and away. 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1 pitch. That's high. 3 balls and a strike. Hitter's pitch here for Brian Gabel. Ground ball foul on the third base side. Counts full. Gabel way back on the back line of the batter's box. Here's the pitch. High pop-up. It's just outside the infield. Garcia dropping back. Coming in is Redwine, and he makes the catch. So Gabel flies out to right field.
Number 2, Trey Larson.
At the plate is Trey Larson, shortstop, and the first pitch was a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's high for ball 2. Milner toes the rubber. Winds, and the 2-0 pitch. That's a strike called right at the letters. He agreed with the call. He looked over at Billy McKnight behind the plate and nodded his head. Yeah, you're right. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Counts all even now. Milner came back with the fastball that time. Here's the wind, the 2-2 pitch. That's high and away for ball 3. Full count now to Trey Larson. And the pitch. Fly ball towards left field. It's in foul territory, and it's out of play. Count remains at 3-2. Very light breeze here tonight. Every now and then we get a little bit of a gust coming through. But the flags are hanging pretty limp. Here's the wind and the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called, and Larson thought he had ball 4, and he made the cardinal sin. He took off for first base before Billy McKnight had a chance to make a decision, and Billy McKnight rung him up. That's 99 strikeouts for Milner. Spencer Diedrich, with 2 down, is at the plate. Pitch is high. Pulled Timon up out of his crouch. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch. Fly ball out towards left field, foul territory, and it's out of play. Counts even at 1-1. Spencer Diedrich steps back in. Milner looks in and goes into his motion. The 1-1 pitch outside for a ball. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fly ball out into left field, drifting back, and Kapanke can't make the catch, and it bounces over the fence for a ground rule double. Bounced off the warning track and over the fence. It's a little harder to see where the fence is now that they've taken down all the signage. So Spencer Diedrich's on second, courtesy of the ground rule double. And Lucas Ludke comes to the plate. He's a designated hitter. Here's the pitch. And that one missed. Ball 1. And that pitch is outside. Two balls, no strikes, 2 down. Runner on second for the River Falls Fighting Fish. And the pitch fouled back into the screen. 2 balls and a strike now to Lucas Ludke. Milner at the belt. And the 2-1 pitch. High pop-up, playable. Moving over is Bemister at third, and he makes the catch. And that'll do it for the Fighting Fish in the first. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We've played 1, and it's no score from Carson Park on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-TV. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
And that football game is going to be starting on, well, just very shortly. And yeah, just under an hour, about 45 minutes from now, it'll be starting on NLWN-2. Jack Redwine at the plate for the Cavaliers. The first pitch was a called strike. Lines a shot over to shortstop. It's picked up, thrown over to first, and they got him. Redwine hustling hard, but grounds out to Trey Larson, who threw it over to Gutting at first for the out. Cole Timon steps to the plate. Timon batting .247. He's got a pair of home runs on the season. And the first pitch is outside for a ball. And the pitch, that's high, ball 2. There's the wind and the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Timon chased one at the letters. Just under it. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. High fly ball out into center field. Heading back is Dietrich. Back, and he makes the catch at the warning track. Dietrich had to get on his horse for that to get back to make the catch, but he did. And that's going to bring left fielder Campbell Kapanke. Kapanke batting .295, trying to get his average back up over 300. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's low. There's the wind and the 1-0 pitch. It's high and outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Campbell Kapanke. Fritz looking into his motion and delivers. Fouled away off the right side. Count goes to 2-1. There's the wind and the pitch. Fly ball out into right field. Drifting back is Denzer, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out. Cavaliers are hitting the ball. They're just hitting it right at people. So we played an inning and a half, and we still have no score from Carson Park on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay. You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in. Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
And we're back here at Carson Park getting ready for the bottom half of the second inning with no score. Due up for the River Falls Fighting Fish, Ty Denzer, Reagan Pino, and Kyle Fritz.
Leading off bottom of the second for River Falls. Right fielder, number 10, Ty Denzer.
And the first pitch is high and away for a ball to Ty Denzer. One ball and one strike now. Here's the pitch. Check swing, strike called off the outside third of the plate. Milner winds and delivers. Swing and a miss, and there's number 100 for Andrew Milner. Strikeout number 100 on the season.
Hit sixth, the third baseman, number 5,
Reagan Pino steps up to the plate. Here's the pitch. That's high and away for a ball. And the 1-0 pitch is inside. Ball 2. The wind and the 2-0 pitch. Strike called outside corner. And the 2-1 pitch. That's away. 3 balls and a strike now to Reagan Pino. He's the third baseman. High pop up. It's playable. And making the catch is Milner as he lands on his wallet, but he held on to the ball for the second out. That's going to bring up the pitcher, Kyle Fritz.
Number 8, the pitcher, Kyle Fritz.
And the first pitch to Fritz is outside for a ball. Here's Milner's pitch. A little bit low, came right down the middle of the plate, but it was low. 2 balls, no strikes. Fly ball out into left field. That one's going to fall in for a base hit. It goes into the corner. Fritz checks in at second, and he's going to hold up there with a stand-up double. That's going to bring up Trevor Gutting, first baseman.
Right, first baseman, number 21, Trevor Gutting.
Maybe when Ben gets a chance, he can get us a shot of the first base coach for the Fighting Fish. I kind of like his hat. And the pitch is strike called. There we go. Now we can see it. He's got a little bit more than a bucket hat. And the pitch is inside for a ball. And the pitch, ground ball over to short. Scooped up by Erickson, throw to first in time. So, no runs on one hit, no errors, one left. We've played 2 innings. And the score, well, there isn't one, from Carson Park on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Let Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comroe provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Colfax High School football action is coming your way on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Coming up on Friday, August 25th, the Colfax Vikings will travel to Aliva-Strum High School to take on the Aliva-Strum Cardinals. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 25th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
We're in the top of the third, and 1 out, and a full count now to Josh Garcia. And that pitch missed. And we're at a full count. And the pitch. It's outside for ball 4. So Garcia is the first base runner for the Cavaliers. It's going to bring up the designated hitter, Connor O'Reilly. O'Reilly batting 174.
Batting ninth, number 13, the designated hitter, Connor O'Reilly.
Here's the pitch. That was fouled back into the screen for strike 1. Check swing high, ball 1. Garcia on first. 1 ball, 1 strike to Connor O'Reilly. And the 1-1 pitch. Called strike at the letters. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fritz looking in, over at first, and delivers. Foul back. Count holds at 1-2. And the pitch. Strike 3 call. Connor O'Reilly goes down looking. Takes us back to the top of the order, Caden Erickson, who grounded third his last time up.
Shortstop, Caden Erickson.
And the pitch. Fly ball out towards left field. Moving over is Larson. He's there. He makes the catch. So the Cavaliers go down with no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We've played 2.5, and we still have no score from Carson Park on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
My character Shazam knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
And a pop out caught by Bemister for the first out of the inning to Eli Baker. Takes us back to the top of the order. And Brian Jabel, the second baseman. He flew out to right field his first time up. That's a long fly ball off the foul pole. It's a home run. Brian Jabel bangs it off the left field foul pole and puts the Fighting Fish on top, 1-0. There was little doubt when that one left his bat. That's going to bring up Trey Larson. Larson struck out looking his first time up. Ground ball to third through Bemister. Erickson knocks it down, and Larson is on an error by Bemister. That's going to bring up Spencer Dietrich. Hit a ground rule double his first time up. With one out, now a runner on first. Long fly ball, left field, out of here. A two-run home run by Spencer Dietrich. Puts the Fighting Fish on top, 3-0. And he gets handed the fish. And that's going to bring out Ryan Bemister for a conference at the mound. And the pitch. to Lucas Lutke. Misses for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one missed inside, ball 2. Three balls and 2 strikes now to Lucas Lutke. And the pitch is outside for ball 4. So Lutke draws a walk. Ty Denzer comes to the plate. Struck out his first time up. First pitch is a ball. And the pitch is high and away. And another pitch just a little bit high. 2 balls and a strike. 1 out, runner on first. 3 runs in for the Fighting Fish. Swing and a miss. Counts even at 2-2. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Denzer strikes out for the second time tonight. Brings up Reagan Pino, who popped out to the pitcher his first time up. 2 down. And that pitch missed low. And the pitch, that's high and inside. Two balls, no strikes. Fly ball out into center field, moving over is O'Brien, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. But not before the damage was done for the Fighting Fish. 3 runs, 2... And 1 man left on base. So we've played 3, and it's the Fighting Fish 3 and the Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Royal Credit Union's low rates and flexible terms on auto loans can help keep your payments low. Get a great rate on your next car or truck purchase, or refinance an existing vehicle with an auto loan from Royal Credit Union. Royal also offers loans for buying or refinancing boats, UTVs, and other vehicles. Royal Credit Union wants to help keep your payments low. Check rates and apply for a Royal Credit Union vehicle loan online at rcu.org/autorate. Subject to credit approval.
So we're going to the top of the 4th inning. Cavaliers have a little catching up to do.
3-0. River Falls Fighting Fish on top, and due up for the Cavaliers, Xavier Bemister, Gabe O'Brien, and Jack Redwine. And that pitch is inside. Counts even at 1-1. And the pitch is away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pop foul back out of play. Off the roof of the grandstand. And the pitch, fly ball out towards right field. That lands foul. Count holds at 2-2. Bemister grounded to third in his first appearance. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt. And it looks like Eli Baker caught it in his hand. He's in quite a bit of pain down there. It was in his throwing hand. And he nods over to the manager. Yeah, I'm okay. I can throw. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cavaliers get a runner on base. They test that throwing hand. So Bemister steps back in. Full count. And the pitch. High pop. Foul territory. Moving over is Pino, and he makes the catch. That'll bring up Gabe O'Brien. With 1 out, O'Brien flew out to right field his first time up.
Center fielder, Gabe O'Brien.
Fritz delivers. Big curveball, called strike. One of those 12-6 curveballs. Fly ball, right field, high, foul, and can't quite make the catch is Ty Denzer. About 6 feet into foul territory. No balls, 2 strikes to Gabe O'Brien. Here's the wind and the 0-2 pitch. That's inside for a ball. And the pitch, ground ball. Fielded by Gutting, and he steps on first for an unassisted put out. That'll bring up Jack Redwine. Redwine grounded to short in his first at bat. And the first pitch missed outside. And the pitch is at the letters on the outside third for a strike. Count's even at 1-1. 2 down. Ground ball over to second. Toss to first in time. Jabel over to Gutting for the 4-3 put out. So we played 3.5. And it's still the Fighting Fish 3, Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network at NLWN-TV. Back here at Carson Park, Rick Olson along with Ann Monroe and Ben Ryder, bringing you WBA State Tournament action. River Falls Fighting Fish taking on the Eau Claire Cavaliers, and the Fighting Fish are on top 3-0. As we head into the bottom half of the 4th inning. Due up for the Fighting Fish, pitcher Kyle Fritz, who doubled his last time up. Then Trevor Gutting and Eli Baker. Andrew Milner kind of got roughed up a little bit last inning, and we do have some activity going on down in the Cavalier bullpen. And the first pitch is high to Kyle Fritz. And the pitch is outside. Ball 2. It's Jake Fisher warming up for the Cavaliers. Here's the wind and the pitch. That got the corner. 2 balls and a strike. Ground ball over to short, picked up by Erickson, throw to first, and they got him. It was close. That was a bang-bang play. Erickson took his time and made sure he had a good throw, but almost took too much time. So Fritz grounds out short to first and brings up Trevor Gutting. Gutting did the same thing his last time up, grounded out short to first. Pitch is outside for a ball. Here's the wind and pitch. High pop foul back out of play. Straight back behind us. One ball, one strike, 1 out. That pitch was low. 2 balls and a strike because it swept right over the plate. 2-1 pitch. That's high and away. 3 balls and a strike. Milner winds and he delivers. Fly ball out into left field, moving over is Kapanke. He can't get there. Fires it back in, and coming into second, sliding in safely is Trevor Gutting. That's the 5th hit of the night for the River Falls Fighting Fish. And they've all been for extra bases. 3 doubles and 2 home runs. Eli Baker popped to third his last time up. And there's a called strike on the outside corner. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And the pitch inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. High pop foul. Timon moving back, and it's off the screen. Count holds at 1-2. Milner looking in and delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 down. Brings up Brian Jabel. And the first pitch is high and away. Milner delivers. Curveball didn't quite catch the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch is outside, ball 3. And he draws the walk. So Brian Jabel is on first. Brings up Trey Larson. Larson's 0 for 2. Struck out and got on an error, and Ryan Bemister heads to the mound. He's going to leave Milner in there. So Larson steps in, and the first pitch, line shot, foul on the left side. Two down, 2 on. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Fighting Fish on top, 3-0. And the pitch. That's high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. To Trey Larson. Here's the pitch. That's high and inside. 2-1 is the count. Milner looks at second and delivers. High pop up. Timon. And it ends up falling.
And I think he thought he got called off by Bemister, and I think the call was being made by the third base coach of the Fighting Fish, because Ryan Bemister had something to say to him about that. He's the one that said ball, ball, and Timon backed off, and the ball fell harmlessly to the ground. So Trey Larson steps back in with a 2-2 count with 2 down. And the pitch. That missed. Full count. Traveling time now for the runners on base. Runners take off. Pitch is a call, 3rd strike. And Trey Larson did not like that. And the umpire is going to go up and talk real quickly with Milner. As Milner comes off, he had a question about something. But after 4 innings, his score is Fighting Fish 3, Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
Leading off the top of the 5th inning for the Cavaliers, Cole Timon. And Timon flew out to center field his first time up. Set it to the warning track. There's a line shot out into right center field. It's going to fall in for a base hit. So Timon's on with a single. That's going to bring up Campbell Kapanke. Cole Timon didn't like being called off that foul ball, and we'll just call that base hit some payback. Kapanke flew out to right field his last time up. Here's the pitch. High pop-up. Jabel back and makes the catch on the edge of the infield. That's going to bring up Tyson Woodcock, who struck out his first time up. First pitch is high from Fritz. Ball 1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count even at 1-1. Woodcock came into the game batting .171. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball through the infield. Out into right field for a base hit. Timon checks in at second. And Tyson Woodcock with a single to right field. 2 runners on with 1 out. Brings up Josh Garcia. He walked his last plate appearance. Timon and Trey Larson having a little conversation out at second base. First pitch to Garcia is a called strike. Timon takes his lead at second. And the pitch. That's high and away. Counts even at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. Pitch is inside, 2-1 now the count. And the pitch. It's high and away. Oh, they called it a strike. Caught the corner. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch to Garcia. That one's high. Count is full. Garcia did come into the game batting .254. And the payoff pitch. Foul ball off the right side. Ben's trying to send some mojo down there to get Garcia on base. Here's the pitch. Foul back on the right side. Full count. 1 out. Line shot over to the second baseman, Jabel. Everybody had to scramble back to their bases, and they were able to get back safely. That'll bring up Connor O'Reilly, who struck out looking his first time up. Two down now. Pitch is inside for a ball. Fritz looking in, now looks out at second, now delivers. Strike called. That was at the letters on the outside corner. Fritz at the belt, and he delivers. That one's inside. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Foul back into the screen. Counts even at 2-2. 2 down, 2 on. Fritz looks over at second and delivers a 2-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Cavaliers mount a bit of a threat, but nothing comes of it. No runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 were left on base. We've played 4.5, and it's the Fighting Fish 3, Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-TV. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Back here at Carson Park, you just saw that promotion for the Colfax Viking football, and they are playing tonight on our sister station, NLWN-2. That game is in the first quarter with about 5.5 minutes to go. Vikings are in the red zone, but it is fourth down, fourth and short, so tune in there if you're interested. Milner throws a strike to Spencer Diedrich. Diedrich is 2 for 2. And there's a called strike on the inside corner. Yeah, he hit a ground rule double his first time up and then had to do a little better than that a second time, hit a home run. A 2-run blast. There's a pitch outside. Milner trying to get him to chase, but he wasn't going to chase that one. Got a little bit away from Milner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Check swing. He had a notion, but it was low. Counts even at 2-2. Jake Fisher still warming up in the bullpen for the Cavaliers. That one was high and away for ball 3. Full count now to Spencer Diedrich. Ground ball over to third, picked up by Bemister, throw to first in time. So that's as Ben says, standing over at the camera, that's a big out for the Cavaliers. He's done some damage tonight, and they got through that time around without any damage being done. Lucas Slutke is up. He fouled out to Bemister at third. The first pitch is high for a ball. He also drew a walk, so he's 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's inside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. That pitch was high and away. They're having a little bit of control issue because Timon was set up on the inside corner and that went outside. Fouled back. Ludke couldn't quite catch up to the fastball that time. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that's outside for ball 4. That's the second walk given up tonight by Milner, and they've both been to Ludke. Brings up Ty Denzer. He struck out twice. Milner delivers, and it's outside for ball 1. And the pitch. Line shot, foul. A lot of play on the left side. Well, he didn't miss it. He just aimed it wrong. A loud strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. High pop-up, foul territory, out of play. On the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Webcasting all the games in this tournament will take place here in Carson Park and come on the web at NLWN-TV.
Milner looking in. Denzer steps in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out. Runner on first. And the pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 3. That's the 3rd time he's gone down swinging. That's the 6th strikeout for Milner tonight. Gets his season's average up to 104. Or not average, his season's total. Reagan Pinot, 0 for 2. Swing and a miss for strike 1. And the pitch. Line shot right into the glove of Garcia over at second base for the 3rd out of the inning. So for the Fighting Fish, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We've completed 5, and it's the Fighting Fish 3, Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you.
Back here at Carson Park, we head to the 6th inning, top of the order coming up for the Cavaliers with Caden Erickson. By the way, in that football game over in Colfax, it's Colfax leading the Whitehall North 7-0. And that game is currently on our sister station, NLWN-2. Feel free to tune it in if the baseball game isn't tripping your trigger. But hey, we got Caden Erickson at the plate. And he grounds it foul down the first baseline. Brian Maher with a nice scoop and catch. Jay Fall and Dan Petchow over in Colfax with that game. And a called strike on the inside corner to Caden Erickson. Erickson's 0 for 2, flew out to left and grounded to short. Or to third. Kyle Fritz goes into his motion and delivers. That one's down low. Tried to get Erickson to chase that one. One ball and 2 strikes. Fritz into the wind and the pitch. That's high, ball 2. Here's the wind and 1-2 pitch. Or the 2-2 pitch, and that was missed. Count goes full now to Caden Erickson. And the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Coming in is Dietrich, and he's under it, makes the catch. That's going to bring up our Geno's player of the game, Xavier Bemister. He's 0 for 2, grounded to third and fouled out to the third baseman. Remember, mention Xavier's name, Xavier Bemister. When you go out to Geno's tomorrow, get yourself a free soft drink. And if he scores, it'll be a free appetizer for your table. There's a called strike at the knees. Here's the wind, the 0-1 pitch. That's outside for a ball. Billy McKnight thought about calling that a strike. And the pitch. There's a strike called. And the pitch. That was a bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Xavier Bemister. And the 2-2 pitch. Inside. Count goes for Bemister. Here's the wind and the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called to Bemister. And he committed the same cardinal sin. Started going to first when he thought it was ball 4. So that brings up Gabe O'Brien. O'Brien 0 for 2. Flew out to right field and grounded to the first baseman. And that first pitch is a ball. Here's the wind in the pitch. That was high. Two balls, no strikes. High pop up. Catcher is under it and he makes the catch. Baker with the catch for the third out. So for the Cavaliers, they go down in order with no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And we've played 5, and we still have the Fighting Fish 3 and the Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Ready for a better way to bank? Switch to Royal Credit Union. Royal Credit Union is a financial co-op, not a corporation, so we return earnings to our members. That means you get low or no fees for account services and better rates on deposits and loans. You'll also have all the digital tools you need at your fingertips, so managing your account is easy. Royal is ready to help you discover the credit union difference. Switch to Royal Credit Union today at rcu.org/difference. Insured by NCUA.
Colfax High School football action is coming your way on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Coming up on Friday, August 25th, the Colfax Vikings will travel to Oliva-Strum High School to take on the Oliva-Strum Cardinals. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 25th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Back here at Carson Park, heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. Cavaliers behind 3-0. Fighting Fish coming to the plate. Kyle Fritz, Trevor Gutting, and Eli Baker. Fritz, the pitcher, is 1 for 2. He doubled to left field his first time up. First pitch is high and away for a ball. Second time he grounded to short. Milner winds and delivers. Fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Milner winds and delivers. That one's outside, got past Timon. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the wind and the 2-1 pitch. That's a strike called on the inside third. Milner winds and delivers. That's high for a ball. Count goes full now to Kyle Fritz. Milner winds and fires. And it's inside for ball 4. Third walk given up tonight by Milner. Brings up Trevor Gutting. He's 1 for 2, doubled his last time up. Also grounded to short. He lays down a bunt foul. So no balls and a strike. Bemister up on right near the edge of the grass. Over at third. Woodcock holding the runner at first. Pitch gets away from Timon and down to second goes Fritz. One ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Fouled off on the right side. Counts now 1 and 2. Runner on second. That's Kyle Fritz. Trevor Gutting at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball to Bemister. Looks the runner back. Throws it over to first. And got him. Nice job by Xavier Bemister to look the runner back to second and then make a good throw to first. 1 down brings up Eli Baker. He's 0 for 2. Popped out to third and struck out. And a ground ball. Picked up by Bemister. Throw over to first in time for 2 down. That brings up Brian Jebel and, or Jebel. I don't know how to say that. We changed the first letter and we know somebody there. And looks like we have a pitching change going to happen, and we'll get that all figured out for you right after this timeout. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold. Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Adventurous.
Shazam!
there's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
Back here at Carson Park, the new rump on the bump for the Cavaliers is Jake Fisher. And he comes into the game with a 1-1 record and a 2.25 earned run average. He's made 10 appearances, 1 start. He's got a 1.65. He's got a 1.65 whip. And he'll be facing the leadoff hitter, Brian Jabel. And Jabel is 1 for 2. One of those was a home run off the foul pole. And the first pitch is a called strike by Fisher. Numbers for Andrew Milner: went 5 2/3 innings, gave up 3 runs, all which were earned. He walked 4, struck out 6, is responsible for the runner on second. And the pitch gets past Timon and over to third. Heads Kyle Fritz. One ball, 1 strike, 2 down, runner on third. And the pitch. That missed the outside corner and blocked by Timon. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Ground ball over to third, grabbed by Bemister, throw over to first, and he got him. Long throw by Xavier Bemister. In fact, Xavier made all 3 outs of the inning, third to first. And no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We've played 6, and the score: the Fighting Fish 3 and the Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
So we go to the top of the 7th. Cavaliers trailing 3-0. And due up is Jack Redwine, Cole Timon, and Campbell Kapanke. Redwine steps in 0 for 2 today. Grounded to short and grounded to second. And there's a called strike, curveball. And the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. Big bending curveball that time. Redwine kind of disagreed with that. But you know, the umpire is the law. That one's high and inside. Tried to get the curveball to break in again, just wouldn't break. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's outside. The bleacher umps kind of disagreed with that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's going to bring up Cole Timon. He's 1 for 2, singled his last time up to right field.
Pitcher Cole Timon.
He ended up getting as far as second base. Here's the pitch. Fouled away off the right side. No balls and 1 strike. After this game is over today, we've got a whole nother game coming up for you. Here's the pitch. That's high and inside, as we'll bring you all the games from Eau Claire in the WBA State Tournament. Line shot out into center field. It's way back. Getting back underneath it is Dietrich, and he makes the catch at the warning track. Timon sent it for a ride. That's the second time he sent Dietrich back to the warning track. But Dietrich, having good range out there in center field, got back and made the catch both times. That's going to bring up Campbell Kapanke. Kapanke is 0 for 2. And a line shot out into left field, and one of those don't have to move at all shots. As Jackson Larson took 1 step and made the catch. And the Cavs go down. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Back here at Carson Park. Jake Fisher still on the mound for the Cavaliers. And we're still waiting for Cole Timon to come in. Here he comes. Due up for the Fighting Fish in the bottom of the 7th inning. We have Trey Larson, Spencer Diedrich, and Lucas Lutke. And so stepping up is Trey Larson. Larson is 0 for 3, struck out looking twice. And that pitch caught the outside corner for a strike. He also got on an error and ended up scoring. And there's a called strike. We have a correction to make on Andrew Milner's numbers. He did allow 3 runs, but only 2 of those runs were earned. And that's because Trey Larson's run would not have been an earned run because he got on base via an error. 1-2 is the count. Swung on, fouled away off the face mask of Timon. Flips his helmet in the air going, I signed up for this abuse. And Billy McKnight checks with Timon to make sure everything's good. And Timon says, yeah, I'm okay. One-two pitch to Larson is just missed the outside corner. I think Fisher thought he had strike 3 there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Line shot out in left field for a base hit. It's going to roll over into the corner, and Larson rounds, and he's still going. He's going to head for third, and it's out of play. And they're going to send him back to second because it went out of play, and it's a ground rule double. Some of the folks down along the bullpen area, or dugout area for the Fighting Fish are saying the gate was open, but it wasn't because Kapanke had to open it to go through and get the ball. And they're having a discussion down along the third baseline. And they're done with their conversation. The umpires explained the rules to him, to the third base coach. He's still not liking it. So at the plate is Spencer Dietrich. He's been a thorn in the side of the Cavaliers today. First pitch is outside for a ball. He hit a ground rule double. And then also homered over the left field fence. Fisher looking in for the sign. And he delivers. High fly ball out towards center field. O'Brien moving over, makes the catch. One down, and brings up Lucas Lutke. Lutke has walked twice and also fouled out to Bemister third. Runner looks, thought about going, and bluff throw over to second, and he scoops back. Fisher delivers, swing and a miss, strike 1. Fastball on the inside third, and Ludke just couldn't catch up to it. And the pitch. That's high. And that pitch is high. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Fly ball out in towards left field. Kapanke back. He makes the catch for out number 2. That'll bring up Ty Denzer. He's a victim of 3 consecutive strikeouts.
Regular Ty Denzer.
And Ben, hats off to your dad. He just brought up a whole mess of food for us. He is greatly appreciated. 1 ball, no strikes. Ty Denzer. Pitch is inside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Fisher delivers. Caught the inside corner for a strike. And that pitch was just a bit inside. 3-1 out of the count. And the pitch is high and away for ball 4. So a runner on, 2 runners on, with Reagan Pino coming to the plate. Pino is 0 for 3. Popped to the pitcher, flew out to center field, and lined to second base. And time is called. Cole Timon wants to go out and have a little chat.
Here comes your title picks with $120 million. Winning 5-0 number is 406 181. 406 181. You are winner.
And a chop foul on the third baseline. And that one got past Timon and over to third goes Larson, and Ty Denzer over to second. Yasio Merchants are leading after 6 innings against the Holman Features by a score of 5-4. And there's a pitch outside. That game is down in Osseo. Like we mentioned, there are 2 pools in Eau Claire and 2 pools in Osseo. And those 4 pool winners will square off on Sunday. Line shot just under the glove of Bemister. 1 run comes in, 2nd run coming in, a 2-run single. by Reagan Pino. Making the score 5-0. The Fighting Fish on top. Brings up Kyle Fritz. Fritz is 1 for 2. Grounded to short his last time up. But also doubled to left field. That pitch is inside. And the pitch, that's high and in. 2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch, inside. And the pitch. That's ball 4. He just missed outside with that one. So heading down to the bullpen to warm up for the Cavaliers, Drew Wathke. As Timon goes out to talk to Fisher. 2 runners on. Pino's on second, Fritz on first, and Trevor Gutting comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Grounded to short, grounded to third, but also doubled out to left field. Pitch is a called strike at the letters. And the pitch. That's high and tight. And the pitch. That's low. Blocked that time by Timon. 2 balls and 1 strike. Trevor Gutting. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. Ground ball over to short. Erickson scoops it up, flips to second for the out. So, for the Fighting Fish, they did pick up 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we've played 7, and it's the River Falls Fighting Fish 5 and the Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Colfax High School football action is coming your way on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. Coming up on Friday, August 25th, the Colfax Vikings will travel to Aliva-Strum High School to take on the Aliva-Strum Cardinals. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 25th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
So we head to the top of the 8th inning. Leading off for the Cavaliers is Tyson Woodcock. Tyson's 1 for 2, singled his last time up. Here's the wind in the pitch. Foul back. Off the screen, or off the catcher's gear, and then it bounced up to the screen. That ball was coming pretty good. No balls in the strike. Fritz delivers. That's low for a ball. One ball, one strike. And the pitch. High pop up. Foul territory, moving over and can't quite make the play. Was gutting. One and two to Tyson Woodcock. Fritz looking in, shakes off a couple signs, now delivers. Ground ball over to first. Toss over to Fritz covering, and he's got it for the put out. That brings up Josh Garcia. Garcia lined to second his last time up. He also drew a walk. And the pitch is high for a ball. Fritz into his motion, and he delivers. Fly ball, foul territory on the right side. It's out of play. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's outside for ball two. 2 balls and a strike to Josh Garcia with 1 out. And the pitch. Line shot foul, and that one's over in the fan deck area as well. And the pitch. It's inside for a ball. Full count now to Josh Garcia. Fritz winds and delivers. High pop-up into shallow right field. Moving over is Jabel, and he makes the catch. Two down, and brings up Connor O'Reilly, who's gone down on strikes both times he's been up. Once looking, once swinging. Here's the wind and the pitch. Foul tip back into the catcher's glove for strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch. That's high and away. Ball 2. And the pitch. That was low and in. Ball 3. Hitter's pitch coming up here for Connor O'Reilly with 2 down. And the pitch. And strike called, and again, Connor O'Reilly did not wait for the call and took off for first and got strike 2 called on him. O'Reilly calls time, steps out. Now he steps back in. Fritz into the wind and the payoff pitch. And ball 4. So O'Reilly does draw the walk. He's going to bring up the top of the order, Caden Erickson. Erickson 0 for 3. And the first pitch, they called that a strike on the inside corner. And the pitch. There's a strike called on the inside third. Eric's looking at a couple now. Here's where Fritz likes to come with a low pitch, about in the same area. See if you can't get Erickson to chase. Erickson does chase, and it's a foul ball down the first base line, just barely foul. And the pitch. Strike 3 called to Caden Erickson. And he did not like that call at all. So for the Cavaliers, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We've played 7.5. And it's the Fighting Fish 5 and the Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
Back here at Carson Park. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning with the River Falls Fighting Fish leading Cavaliers 5-0. Due up for the Fighting Fish, we have Eli Baker, Brian Jabel, and Trey Larson. Baker is 0 for 3. Popped to third, struck out, and grounded to third. And a bounder foul down the third baseline. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's high for a ball. Jake Fisher still on the mound. And he delivers, swing and a miss, strike 2. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. O'Brien drifting back, and he got it. So one down, and that's going to bring up Brian Jabel. A little bit of activity going on down in the bullpen for the Fighting Fish. And the first pitch is a strike call to Jabel. Jackson Larson warming up down there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fly ball, that's deep into left field. Kapanke fields it off the wall. Gets it in, and Jabel checks in at second. That makes him 2 for 4 with a homer and a double. That'll bring up Trey Larson. He's 1 for 4 so far on the day. Couple of strikeouts. Got on an air, scored a run. And then hit a ground rule double his last time up. And that pitch missed, and I'm not sure where it missed. Must have been low. Here's the pitch. That's high. 2 balls and no strikes. And that pitch is high in. Three balls and no strikes to Trey Larson. That pitch is high for ball 4. And that's going to bring out Ryan Bemister to talk with Jake Fisher. Two runners on. Let's see if he makes a call to the bullpen or he's going to leave Jake in. Drew Wathke warming up down in the Cavalier bullpen. But he's going to leave Fisher in there. 1 out, 2 runners on. We're in the bottom of the 8th. River Falls Fighting Fish leading the Cavaliers 5-0. After this game is over, we will leave the air for a short bit and we'll be back with tonight's second game. And there's a pitch for a strike. No balls and a strike. To Spencer Diedrich. Pitch is outside for a ball. Diedrich is 2 for 4. Hit a ground rule double his first time up, and then he homered a no-doubter out into left field. 2-run shot. Another shot. If it stays fair, I think it's a foul ball, though. And it is. That was a no-doubter other than fair or foul, and fortunately it was foul. Fisher looking in for the sign, and he delivers. It's outside for a ball, trapped there by Timon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 2 runners on. Fisher at the belt, and he delivers. Fly ball to center field. That one's back, and that's out of here. A 3-run home run for Spencer Diedrich. His 2nd homer of the day. His 5th RBI of the day. And that makes the score 8-0. That's going to bring up Lucas Lutke. It's a long fly ball to center field. O'Brien can't get to that. It bounces off the fence. And rounding second, heading for third is Lutke, and he's in safe. And Ryan Bemister is making another call to the mound, which also means a call to the bullpen, and we'll have that all figured out for you right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-TV. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple?
Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
New pitcher for the Cavaliers, Drew Wathke, and Wathke comes into the game with a deceptively high earned run average of 7.40. He has a 3-1 record, 8 appearances, 1 start. He has a whip of 2.03, and he's struck out 9 in his 20 2/3 innings. The numbers for Jake Fisher, he went 1 2/3, and he gave up 5 runs, all of which were earned on 5 hits, including that 3-run blast by Spencer Diedrich. And there was also a ground rule double and a triple. The Fighting Fish hit for the cycle against Fisher because Pino hit a single and Larson hit a double. Lutke hit a triple and Diedrich hit a home run. So stepping up is Ty Denzer to face Drew Wathke. And there's a called strike on the outside edge. And the pitch. High pop-up. Erickson ranging back. He calls it. He has it. That's 2 down. Brings up Reagan Pino. He singled to drive in 2 runs his last time up. Otherwise, he's 1 for 4. We do have a runner on third. That's Lucas Lucci. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Wathke delivers, and that's a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes to Reagan Pino. And the pitch. Line shot out into center field for a base hit. That's going to send a run in. So Pino is safe at first with a base hit. That's the 3rd RBI for Pino. And that run gets charged to Fisher. Going to bring up Kyle Fritz. Fritz is 1 for 2. And the first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. He doubled his first time up. He's also drawn a couple walks. Pino takes his lead. And that pitch just missed. And the pitch. Ground ball out into center field for a base hit. That's going to bring up Trevor Gutting. And Gutting is 1 for 4 with a double. And that pitch just missed. And grounded foul on the third base side. And a pitch. Line shot out into right field, coming on hard. Can't make the catch. 1 run's gonna come in. And that will do it. The 10-run rule will end the game as the Cavaliers drop the opener in the tournament by a score of 10-0. And we'll be back with a quick summary and talking baseball right after this timeout. You've been tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Are you ready to help your family get prepared for the unexpected?
Here we go!
Ladybug and Cat Noir know how important it is to be ready. Because you never know when Hawkmoth is going to strike or a disaster will hit. And you don't need miraculous powers. Just put those planning skills you already have to good use. Make a plan that will help you and your family be ready when emergencies happen. Ready Kids can help. Get started at ready.gov/kids.
Of Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball with a look back at today's game. Time now for Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game, presented by Mama Squirrels Cleaning and more. And now, back out to the ballpark.
And we're back here at Carson Park with a little bit of talking baseball, and Cavaliers dropped the tournament opener by a score of 10-0 to the River Falls Fighting Fish. That means that the Cavaliers will play the Everest Merchants tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and the Fighting Fish will play the Everest Merchants tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And the Cavaliers are going to need some help if they want to get to Osseo on Sunday. They need the Merchants to have a big game against the Fighting Fish, but the Cavs need to have a pretty good game against the Merchants as well. But that's all to be seen. In this game, the Fighting Fish had 10 runs on 12 hits. They committed no errors. Cavaliers, no runs on 2 hits, and they committed 1 error. The winning pitcher of tonight's game was Kyle Fritz. He went the distance, taking his record now to 9 wins, 1 loss, and 1 save. And for the Cavaliers, the losing pitcher was Andrew Milner, and it drops his record to 5-3. The record for the Fighting Fish on the season is now 37-4, and for the Cavaliers, it's 21-16. I am not sure if Ryan Bemister is heading up here or not, so we're going to take a short time out and see if he's coming up, and then we'll be back with more Talkin' Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
Can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute pre-diabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
And we're back here at Carson Park talking with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemister. And you ran into a pretty tough team tonight.
Yeah. They won, obviously. They're the best team in the state. 10-0's not the way the game was.
No, it was much closer than that. It matches the score from last year. Yeah, that's not something you want to hang your hat on.
I don't care about that. Yeah, no, our boys we only hit one twice. Pitching was good. The unfortunate thing with the pitching is, I'm going to call it out. WBA did a better job of getting umpires for these games. The guy we had to be on home plate tonight was atrocious. It's easy to hit the ball when you're basically telling the batters where the ball's going to be. and not being consistent and stuff like that. We're too good of a league for the CRBL and the WBA to have things like this happen. I'm mad that we got beat, but it's not that we got beat and that they had 10 runs on us. It's the fact that it made easy to them by what was going on out there. I'm sorry.
Since you're on a roll, there was a play earlier in the game, pop foul, Cole Timon appeared to be under it, and it sounded like somebody called him off. And we thought possibly that might have come from not a player. And could that have been the case?
So the respect I have for the River Falls baseball team, players and coaches, stops there. The fans need to be better fans. It's baseball. Treat it with respect. Those calls came from the stands. It wasn't the first time tonight. There's other calls that they were doing out there. Our players were looking at it and noticing. A couple fans in particular. Every team's got a couple of those type of fans, but we're at the state tournament. Act like you respect both teams, and that's why I say I have much respect for River Falls, their coaching staff, their players. They were super polite tonight. They were not cocky in how they did anything out there. They were great handling all the situations, not showing anybody up. But that stands need to be better, and that's what our stands do every night. Come in and out, cheering everybody on, being positive, being sportsmanlike.
Okay.
So yes, since I'm on a roll.
No, okay. And you were right though. The pitching. Andrew Milner threw a nice game that made 2 mistakes.
Yeah, and you can't make mistakes, these guys. And we were talking about that earlier in the game when he's throwing balls high, and we're like, you can't stay there. You can't live high against this team. They're too good. They're going to bury you. And they did when he left a couple high. He learned from that. He finally got a little control. He was ill tonight, too. He wasn't feeling good. So we had a plan in place. I know he was really frustrated when I pulled him there in the 6th inning with the 2 outs, but he was going to see that leadoff guy for the 4th time, and we're not going to let that happen. I mean, that guy was hitting the ball so good. We got to give him a different look, and it worked out for us. So,
got 3 home runs tonight. In fact, of their 12 hits, I believe it's 8 of them were extra base hits, and so they didn't just hit the ball; they spanked it.
Yeah, I'd say good luck to the rest of the teams in the state, and they're all very good teams that are here. The team is something we haven't seen all year. I mean, that's the best team we've seen all year, up and down, defensively, offensively, up and down the lineup, everything. There's not a weak point in that lineup, and that's a credit to those guys up there. And I was talking to Coach beforehand, and real nice. Josh is a really nice guy, and he's doing the right thing with River Falls, and I'm happy to lose to a team like that.
And the chances of getting on to the state finals in Osseo are pretty slim right now. You're going to need something of a miracle, but you do have the opportunity to finish on a high note tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock against the Everest Merchant. Somebody you have faced this year.
Yeah, we lost 3-2 over in Mopac against those guys. We didn't hit the ball that day either. Had a great pitching performance from Jackson Vance. We talked about that afterwards. The boys know they're not stupid. They're smart kids. They know exactly what the situation is, and they just want to go out with a win. Finish for a win with the crowd in front. We're at home. We get to be the home team tomorrow. So we're gonna treat it just like a home conference game. Win it and just celebrate with the fans afterwards and go out on a high note for this year, because it's been a good year. We've met all the goals and personally exceeded those goals with how we played once we made the CRBL and once we made the WBA. So
well, that sounds like a pretty good plan. So let's do that tomorrow morning about 10 o'clock. Sleep fast. It's going to come quick.
Yep. We'll be back at 8:30 ready to play.
All right. Thank you. And we'll have more talking baseball right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Alvo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
Back here at Carson Park, we're talking baseball. Cavaliers dropped the opener 10-0 to the River Falls Fighting Fish. Don't forget to join us on NLWN-TV right after this game. About 8:55, we'll be back on with the next game in the state tournament from Eau Claire. That'll be the Tilden Tigers against the Hudson River Rats, and that'll be coming up with a 9 o'clock first pitch. We'll be back at 8:55. Our next game for the Cavaliers tomorrow morning at 9:55 as we bring you the Cavaliers against the Everest Merchants. Also, don't forget to tune in to NLWN-2 for Colfax Viking football. That game in Colfax tonight was at just about ready to start the second half last time I checked, and it was the Vikings 7 and the Whitehall North 6. So they're probably well into the third quarter by now. But next week, August 25th, the Vikings will be traveling to Oliva Strum, and we will have that on NLWN2 with Viking preview beginning at 6:40. Followed by the live play-by-play action. Today's Geno's player of the game was Xavier Bemister. He did not score a run because no Cavaliers scored any runs today. But when you go out to Geno's tomorrow and you mention Xavier's name, you get yourself a free soft drink. That's courtesy of the folks at Geno's Pizza. Today's WBA State Tournament baseball game is brought to you by Geno's Pizza right next to Action City near the intersection of Highways 93 and I-94. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. The Goat Coffee House at 336 Water Street for good coffee and great sandwiches. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Menominee Eye and Optical with quality, personalized care for you and your family. Mama Squirrel's Cleaning and more, getting ready to get your house sparkling. Your Napa Auto Parts Store at 3580 Mall Drive in Eau Claire. Slayton's Technology, the official IT provider of the Northern Light Webcasting Network. And Royal Credit Union, where they're different in a good way. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you WBA State Tournament Baseball on NLWN-TV. So for Ann Monroe and Ben Ryder, this is Rick Olson. We'll be back at about 8:55 with Game 2. But for now, you've been tuned to Talkin' Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Talkin' Baseball, a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.